Eyjafjallajökull is the name of the glacier that sits on top of the volcano, meaning island mountain glacier. This volcano is one of the oldest active volcanoes in Iceland because it is found along the northern part of the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, which is the longest unbroken mountain chain in the world. The Mid-Atlantic Ridge is located at the juncture of crustal plates that form the floor of the Atlantic Ocean. This rift contains a zone of sea floor spreading in which molten magma from beneath the Earth's core continuously wells up, cools, and is progressively pushed away from the ridge's flanks. Because of the floor spreading and the movement of the ocean floor and of the continents outward from the ridge, the Atlantic basin is widening at an estimated rate of 0.5 to 4 inches a year. The volcano is an elongated flat cone that is about 5,413.4 feet tall. It is a stratovolcano in Iceland's eastern rift zone. A stratovolcano, also known as a composite volcano, is a volcano built up by many layers of hardened lava, tephra, pumice, and volcanic ash. Expanding gases from the rapid vaporization of ice started a series of moderate phreomagmatic explosions, which are the eruptions as a result of interaction between water and magma that sent a stream and ash almost 7 miles into the atmosphere. Air travel and transportation throughout the world were canceled due to airspace restrictions. There were a number of planned trips that were postponed or diverted and delayed due to the closure of airports and airspace.
Eyjafjallajökull had a very significant impact on society following its eruption. While most of us may think that the lava that comes from volcanic eruptions as the most hazardous, there is still the ash. The ash created by this volcano was different from others because it was created by the magma mixing with the glacial waters that surround the mountain. This caused the smoke to be thicker and more profound. Wind carried the ash across the entire western and northern part of Europe, grounding more than 100,000 flights. For days, travelers were stranded. This caused the air travel market an estimated $1.7 billion. Air travel resumed as normal on April 19th. A study was done in 2010, 6 months after the volcano erupted, that tested the health of citizens who lived in the exposed area. They were compared against those who lived in another area of Iceland where the ash did not blow. Its results were that cough, tightness of chest, irritation, and respiratory problems were much more prevalent in citizens who lived closer to the eruption point. While there were no deaths or serious injuries with this eruption, there were lasting health effects. Although the ash caused a number of problems for humans, it did not have a very significant impact on the environment. It in fact helped the environment. By delaying 100,000 flights, 2.8 million tons of carbon dioxide was prevented from going into the atmosphere. It is true that certain types of ash, when high enough in the atmosphere, can block sunlight and cool the planet. Luckily, the ash from this volcano did not do that because of its mixture with the glacial waters.
Although Eyjafjallajökull has only erupted 4 times in its past, there is a connection with another volcano, Katla, 16 miles east of it. Katla has been known for erupting only months after every Eyjafjallajökull eruption in history. Although it may be purely coincidental, Katla is much more active and has a larger magma chamber that will create an eruption and an ash plume bigger than its neighbor. What we can learn from Eyjafjallajökull's eruption is that it caused such a problem in air travel, but many flights could have still flown despite the large ash plumes covering Europe. Although better for the planet, it was an enormous economic loss for airplanes and absolute chaos to those flying internationally in Europe. To mitigate such economic loss and chaos in air transportation, research can be done to find which are no-fly zones and open air zones. The research should include sampling the ash in the air, the location of it, and the impact in jet engines. This, along with measurement of mass and height of ash produced and the dispersion rate, can all contribute to whether it is safe to fly for travelers and how they can inhale the air without threat of toxicity. One sample takes less than a day to produce and can quickly move along finding which air zones are okay to fly.